Let's talk about dating.
Admit that, though.
I know. We are supposed to share the deep, intimate parts of our life with anybody of the opposite sex except for our spouse, right?
Having boundaries in a relationship, it goes back to the Lord. It's like God, everything always comes back to your relationship with God.
Yeah. Asking constantly the question to the Lord, am I honoring you with how I'm walking in this dating relationship? Hey, it's Brandon, and you are listening to the After the Message podcast, a weekly podcast focused on living for Jesus and like Jesus on more than Sunday. We dive into all things faith, relationships, and culture. I just want to thank you for taking the time to listen. Make sure you subscribe and take a moment to follow us on all our social channels. Now sit back and enjoy today's episode. Welcome to the After the Message podcast. We're back, I believe, week number 8. Is that true? Week number 8? We are on week 8. How do you feel?
It's crazy.
We're heading into a lot this week. This week, by the time this comes out, is original women's conference week.
Yeah, so the girls and I will be going to Rockford for
our
original.
Alma mater, our hometown, not my hometown, not your hometown either.
No.
You like to tell people you're from Chicago, but what I find is anybody within like an hour and a half distance from Chicago is like, oh, I'm from Chicago.
No. So the problem, and like we have had it out about this before.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay.
Let's talk about it.
Okay. I am from a town.
Say the name.
It's called Des Plaines.
Okay.
Not.
Is Des Plaines like neighborhood of Chicago, or is Des Plaines an actual city?
So where I grew up was 5 minutes away from the O'Hare Airport, which is a very important piece.
Which O'Hare is not actually in Chicago either.
It's not. ORD is not.
Oh, but you just admitted
it's not.
So it's not Chicago. So therefore you did not grow up in Chicago.
So the way it was is that it was Des Plaines, and then there was a small suburb that's still there called Rosemont. And then literally we would go out of our neighborhood, take a left, and within 5 minutes we were at the L, which is technically Chicago.
Pause. When we lived in Rockford, we always stopped at was it a Dominic's to get the tickets for the train?
Yes, I lived 5 minutes past that.
But why did we have to stop at a grocery store to get, why couldn't we just buy them?
I think it was more expensive or something.
Okay. Is Dominic's still there?
No. They went out of business. RIP.
Wow.
I know.
Hy-Vee's just taken over.
No. There's not Hy-Vee's in Illinois. Maybe there's a couple.
One thing you'll not know about Illinois people is they had S's to everything because it's like
Haley
Illinois,
Hy-Vee's. Haley doesn't do it, and she's from Illinois.
All right, whatever.
But
Touche.
I
grew up in Iowa, so
I know. I don't like when people who are like, I'm from Chicago, but I live in Rockford, which is an hour and a half away from the city. I don't like that.
Let's get into this though.
Okay.
Because we're talking about marriage and dating today, because I promised that we were going to do a relationship series in this. And then the church is actually doing a relationship series coming up in a couple series. So I'm not even going to but I'm excited about it.
Probably December.
I have some big things planned.
We're going to do some December relationship
Yeah, we're real
series.
planned out. But actually we pretty much are through December planned out, which is cool. Yeah. But the big thing though that I want to talk about is that you grew up near Chicago, but you are like me as well. You hate cities.
I do.
We both detest it. If I never had to go to a city, I'd be a happy man.
Let's calm down.
No, I'm dead serious though. Okay,
my hatred isn't quite. I think for
downtown Des Moines is too busy for me. Put that in the comments. If you like going to downtown Des Moines,
there's many people that enjoy.
I know
I want to go to
Nat loves downtown
the farmers
Des Moines.
market. I want to go to the farmers market. Okay.
No, so because here's the thing, I just don't like the vibe down there. I want.
What's the vibe down there, babe?
I'll just keep it to myself. But I just don't like it. I don't like I like to see nature. I like clean. I'm not I don't really, there's never a purpose. The 2 times a year I go downtown is the Iowa prayer breakfast in the Iowa Deer Classic.
And they're literally the same week normally.
They are.
Around the same time.
The same month. But like I just don't see the need to go down there. Like I like good coffee. Love a good cup of coffee. But I can get that in the suburbs, you know?
I think for me though, Chicago, I grew up going into the city. Like we went into the city multiple times a week sometimes. Like it was just, that was what you did. But it's confusing, like all the like different like, you know, one ways and like the transit systems, the buses, the L.
One of your like least favorite dates I ever took you on was to the city. Like you were terrified the whole time. And I was so confused because I was like, you this whole time we'd been dating, which was only been like a month or two.
Because I was like,
but you talked like a big game. Like I'm from the city. Like I know Chicago well. We got on the L and you were shaking.
I am claustrophobic, number one.
Though the guy that told us he was Jesus and that the end of the world was coming.
No, he said, I'm President Obama. He was like, I'm President Obama on the streets of Chicago.
And then he switched it and he was like, I'm Jesus.
Actually, I'm Jesus.
And the world's ending.
He walked with us a while. But
that was the first time I think I showed you, because we're going to talk about this today, protector, provider, you know, priest of the home. I showed you I could be a protector because I looked at him, I turned around and I said, hey bro, you're scaring my girlfriend. I need you to leave. And he left. He left.
Did.
I'm just so you know, my Iowa-ness, like I had to summon so much courage in that moment because
you were a little baby Bran.
I was just started growing a beard. And that was actually like one of the reasons that you said yes to dating me because, and I don't know if Liz Willard watches this, but
she doesn't.
She needs to. You can send her this. She needs to change my picture that comes up in her phone when I call her.
Oh my word.
The fact that that's my 18-year-old picture from ministry school with zero beard, the waff haircut.
But I would just like to say that like, I am like, I don't like to be lost. So in the city, you have to, at the time I had a poor man's iPhone. Like it was a tiny little baby iPhone.
Oh my gosh. The one, it was with like the plastic back.
It was like tiny.
Yes.
And like, there was no, like we tried them.
I was so jealous of that though.
You had.
I didn't have an iPhone. Like I got an iPhone. I believe somebody gave me an old one, like right before.
Did you unlock it?
No. Because I have morals. But right before, that was one of our biggest fights we've ever had, was that somebody offered you a free iPhone and you were like, yeah, we can just jailbreak it. And I said, if you do that,
I'm breaking up with
yourself
you.
like that, I'm not being with somebody that has low moral standards. So,
and then
I don't even think you could do that anymore. I don't think you could do that.
And I was like, fine, then we're not going to be together. And I left you on the porch outside my house.
Moral.
And then you stood there and you were like, let me in. I want to talk about this. And I did not jailbreak the iPhone. I thought about it. But anyways.
I questioned everything I knew about you at that point.
But, well, no, you were more mad because my boss was like, absolutely not. You're not doing that.
Your boss agreed with me after the fact.
Yeah. And so God bless Taka. He was so funny. But I don't like feeling lost or like I don't know where I'm going. So downtown Des Moines, not an issue. Like it's like tiny. We can figure that out. Going into
we do
Chicago.
Have
we have one skyscraper.
1 grand. What up? My mom used to work in that tower.
Have you been?
Yeah, I used to like to ride in the elevators because it makes your ears pop because they go so fast.
Okay.
Now, you ever been in there? Yeah. There was a restaurant at the top. Is there still a restaurant at the top?
801 Grand. It's a steakhouse.
Yeah.
But you have to understand.
I never reached that level.
But you have to understand too. Stop it.
I didn't. Have you had a steak from 801 Grand?
I had food, but not a steak.
Wow. You got a bougie family then. In high school?
Oh, I love that.
Wait, your school took you there?
No, you.
I realize that nobody can hear what you're saying, but apparently her school and initiative something went to 801 Grand. You had a nice school.
You had a nice school.
No, actually you didn't. You went to Southeast Polk, right? Yeah.
It's a great school. They taught them manners. Anyways.
They did a lot of manners?
They taught them manners.
Okay.
But what I'm trying to get at that you keep rudely interrupting me is that I am very highly claustrophobic. So I don't like buses or like Disney buses. Yes. Or like the L in general. Even like when we got stranded in Paris before we got to South Africa last year for our missions trip.
That subway.
Literally, you were like, don't act crazy. Don't act scared.
Let's talk about, excuse me. Oh my gosh.
What is going on with you?
I got to take one of my 15 drinks.
Take a sip of your This is all the time, guys.
If I had a choice, I would. I want this in the comments. Actually,
Okay.
Let's take a poll.
Okay.
If you had a choice between you could only, and nutrition wasn't part of this, you couldn't get scurvy, anything like that. But if you had to make a choice, eat things for the rest of your life or drink things for the rest of your life. You could have drinks or you can have food. Which would you choose? I would choose drinks. Like there's so many drinks that you can have. There's coffee, there's lattes, there's LaCroix, Ghost energy drinks.
Absolutely
I'm
not.
not supposed to have those anymore, but
You're giving them up. You're giving them up.
All these, there's so many drinks that you can have.
I think.
One of the things I'm excited for Disney this year.
Yeah.
And I need to make sure people hear this. I am mocktailing around the world. All right. I'm Assembly's of God pastor, so I have to make sure people know. I'm mocktailing around the world.
You're
so
not
excited.
Drinking alcohol.
I'm so excited to try every kind of mocktail that there is at Epcot.
Can't. It's hard because some of them do have like gluten in them. Or like dairy.
Drinks?
Yes. It's a mix.
There's no such thing as gluten in a drink.
Literally, we'll fight about this later. Actually, there is.
All right.
Okay.
But if you had to, which would you choose, solid food or?
I would do food, I think.
So you would just be parched for the rest of your life.
I probably would.
Think about after a workout, after a run, you've been running. You just gonna eat some cereal?
Honey, it's not, you can't live without water. Like I'd still have to be able.
Like I said, this is a made up reality. Okay. You get all the nutrients that you need, all the minerals, everything.
Maybe I would be a drink person. I do love a good smoothie.
Think about how much more convenient drinking is.
It's easy. It's less invasive.
It's not like a surgery. Good Lord. Okay. Well, anyways, we are talking about relationships today. Yes. And I like marriage. It's great. You're on the fence still, 13 years later.
I'm just not sure about you.
I do want to start first with dating because let's do the progression, right? Like you don't skip to marriage. I mean, some people do in the homeschool community. I'm sure that there's like jumping of the process.
There are normal people that, you meet each other, get married in 2 weeks, and you're done.
We have had a couple people like that in our lives that they dated for like a month and then got married the month later and they're still together today.
They're still together today.
I would say that they're the exception to the rule and not the rule.
Yeah.
When I do pre-marriage counseling for couples, the SYMBIS test, the Saving Your Marriage Before It Starts, says if you aren't dating for at least 2 years, then you have a lower or a higher divorce rate statistically. And I think that's interesting. We dated out of necessity for 2.5 years because I was interning. We were both working at church and we just had no money. And we were convinced that, you know what, youth ministry is everything for the rest of our life. I literally thought, I was thinking about that the other day. I thought I was going to be a youth pastor till the day I died. I really did. Now, I don't think I'm cool enough to be a youth pastor.
You're not, first of all. But second of all,
I don't understand any Gen Z terms.
You're also just like, you're too nice.
And I don't play video games. Like
you're too nice.
I'm too nice?
You're too nice.
To be a youth pastor?
Yes. You got to be like a little more gritty.
What are you saying about Nat then? You're saying Nat has more grit than me?
No.
Wow.
I'm just saying it's like the language. Like you can, like when I meet a youth pastor, like I don't even need anyone to tell me. I don't need that. That's the youth pastor. I'm like, oh, I know. Because
and they dress cool.
It's the vibe. It's the like,
Like today, I was super proud of myself. Like I came out of the bathroom and I was like, I'm wearing a nice shirt today and everything. And the first thing that you said to me was, you're really going to wear that hat?
I did say that.
I feel bad. I think I might have said this before. I feel bad for our, what do they call them? Hairstylist now? Stylist?
Sure.
Because every time she does my hair, I just remind her I only do it on Sundays. That's the only day.
There is though, like, I don't know if it's like old wives' tale, but like if you wear a hat consistently, you could lose more hair. I mean, I've heard that. Do you believe that?
I've heard that, and I think I've settled into the fact that if it's got to go, it's got to go. Because I'm
not dealing with you being like,
but here's my thing about hats. Hats are part of your personality. Like, right? Like
it's a statement piece.
I only own bow hunting hats and a Montana Knife Company hat. So when you see me, you're like, okay, I get what that dude's about, you know? And then we have a merch drop coming soon for church.
Oh my word.
And we're doing a camo.
Someone
church hat.
accosted me on Sunday and was like, Pastor Katie, when's the merch coming? And I was like,
It's coming.
It's coming.
But we're doing a camo hilltop hat. And so I'm stoked about that. It's going to be my number one hat.
No, if you say that, you have to wear it every time.
That I wear hunting. Like I want it to become that lucky hat.
But you don't know a lucky hat till you've worn it. Like my lucky hat that I wear for working out, it's disgusting.
Your
but
lucky
it's
hat.
my lucky hat.
It makes it look like you have a growth on the side of your head because it weirdly pops out like right here.
You bought that for me at the Nike outlet store.
I'll buy you another one.
It doesn't matter. I can't. It's like, it's the perfect bill size. It's the perfect. It's so comfortable. Well, but all I'm saying is, if you're gonna say those things, like this is the best hat ever, but then we get it home and you're like, oh, it doesn't make my face look good, or it makes my head look weird. I'm gonna be like, nope, you told everyone.
Okay. All right. Well, moving on. Let's talk about dating.
Admit that though.
I know. Let's talk about dating because I think it's one of the things that frustrates me and why you know this about me, and I've probably told our church this before. I struggle with relationship series at church.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
Because I would say this, like I like topical series, but I like topical series that I can base off of a book of the Bible or that there is like a ton of scripture about these things. There is not a lot of scripture when it comes to how we operate within dating life, especially, but even with marriage, we talk about roles and how that looks. And luckily, our relationship with our spouses compared a lot to our relationship with the Lord, so we can kind of glean from that. But apart from like, a couple of passages in
Don't awaken love till the time is right.
Song of Songs, which salacious. Like I don't know if I can say the Bible is salacious, but like it is. Like we in the Bible reading plan, we were going through it, and I was like, wow. In the little study note, I like knew this, but then it's funny every time I read it. It's like young Hebrew boys were not allowed to read the Song of Songs before they were a certain age, and I was like, because it's pretty racy. But there's apart from like a couple passages in the New Testament, there's not a ton that describes the day-to-day life of a marriage in depth or anything like that. I think that's why there's so many confusion in different denominations and things about what is the role of a woman, what's the role of a man, how does that play out in a marriage? I always like to go back to when people bring up the submit passage, right? Like wives submit to your husband. I always remind people, go back further. How does that passage start? It says submit to one another. And then under that, it describes what that submission to one another looks like within a marriage. And husbands are supposed to love their wife like they love their own body and giving themselves for her. And so
that means laying yourself down. That means telling a homeless guy, hey, you gotta go, pal.
That's right. But what does that look like in dating, right?
Yes,
so the Bible starts with, it is not good for man to be alone. And we equate that to all relationships as we should, which is true. But specifically, God was meaning in a marriage relationship. And so when we come back to what's God's design for marriage and all of that, all you have to do is to go back to original intent, right? The whole point of Jesus coming was to forgive us of our sins, to give us his righteousness, right? Like that substitutionary atonement. I think
Don't get into it today. But
I won't get into it today. But with that, it's to bring us back to original intent.
Yes.
Relationship with God, the way he originally intended things to be, right? And with that, the original intent was for a man and a woman to be in a marriage together. So I just want to be really clear because we live in a different day and age about what we're talking about. We're talking about marriage between one man and one woman because we're not talking about thruples. We're not talking about, open marriages. We're talking about a covenant relationship between one man and one woman. And I hate that we have to clarify that, by the way, today, but it's important.
It's sad.
But in that, what does that look like in modern life in dating? And I've come to this conclusion that I should have come to it a long time ago, but that God is the author of our story, right? And we say that often.
When God writes your love story, that's actually a book.
Is it really? Is it that one guy, though, that we won't mention his name? But
no.
It's not that I Kiss Dating Goodbye guy?
No. It's the couple in
You don't even remember.
I do, but I'm not going to name drop.
You don't want to promote the book.
I don't want to promote the book.
Okay.
I don't agree with it entirely, but like that was like a big thing in the homeschool community.
Oh, you admit? Okay.
I liked it. I met them.
But with that, I do believe God's the author of your love story, and there's no one size fits all approach to it. Because I think sometimes, like, one of the things that I really detest, and this is a personal opinion, all right? This is not, I'm taking my pastor hat off. I have hat hair, otherwise I would,
Yeah, this will
I'm
be in
taking
a
my pastor hat off.
lower
This is
third,
opinion
only.
Opinion. This is an opinion. I don't like marriage and relationship books. I don't like dating books. I don't like any of them. I just don't like them. Like, because I don't think there's a one size fits all policy when it comes to dating and relationships. I think everything's very unique. And just like your calling is unique, your relationship with the Lord is unique. There's principles that we can put in place to help us and guide us along the path. But I think that a lot of error comes in when we compare our marriage to other people's marriages or our dating journey to other people's dating journey, because it's also unique and God He has planned and prepared a life for you, right? Now, I say this all the time in every relationship series that I've ever done. Don't settle for good when God has great for you. But you have to determine what that great is. You have to find that, right?
Yeah.
You have to uncover that. And I think that comes back to where I want to start is
this is a really long intro.
knowing your worth and value, right?
Yes.
I think that's the biggest thing. One of the things that we talk about why I say don't compare your relationship with somebody else's is I asked you out and you straight up said no. Like, and it wasn't an immediate no. It was like, I'll pray about it over Christmas break. And then once we got married, you told me you never prayed about it. But I came back and you said no to me, which was really awkward because we were leading a small group of youth students together and we were planning a New Year's Eve party.
At my house.
Yes. And
my parents' house.
Two big things happened that day.
Huge.
I found out my parents were getting divorced. And then my car blew a head gasket, and so I had no car anymore.
It was a transmission thing, I thought.
No, it was a head gasket. And
Same.
and it blew. It could be. I know nothing about cars.
It was the transmission.
It was not the transmission.
Yes,
it was definitely a head gasket. But with that, you knew both of those things. Didn't even give me a pity date. Not even like
okay. You have wanted
yes
a pity date?
Yes.
No.
You asked me what was going on. I told you both those things. Like, and you're like, man, that's really tough. But I did pray about it, and it's a no. You just literally said it's a no.
I know.
And then you had to give me a ride home.
Okay, I did in a not a good area.
And you gave me a ride home, and it was and I treated you so kindly. But best thing that the Lord has ever done for me, and you have ever done for me, because those 3 months from the time you said no to when we actually went on a date was
March 3rd.
Yeah, I feel like the Lord solidified something in me that would not have happened unless you said no. Because I remember going to the sanctuary after all that happened the next day. I went to the sanctuary and I was like, you know what, Lord? It's you and me. Like, and I remember thinking like in my head, and I don't know if I've ever told you this, she's missing out. Like I literally thought that. I was like, she's missing out. And I
was missing out.
I decided, you know what? My whole life, like, people have told me like what to wear, who to be, like all those things. I was like, I just want to like who Brandon Beaman is. And so I grew a beard. I started working out. I changed my wardrobe because I was trying to fit into that emo rocker look. And I was like, you know what? That's just not me. Like, that's just not who. And so that
skinny jeans central.
Yes. That is actually, though, after the fact, you said that's what actually turned the tide for you as far as attraction. Like, because we were always friends and you liked me as a friend. We were best friends. I would say we were verging on best friends because we'll talk about that in a second. Yeah. But from your perspective, you told me that that's actually what turned the tide of attraction.
Are you putting words in my mouth? Just kidding. I'm kidding. No, I think it was that coupled with the fact that, and I was not like, my two best friends were like, are you trying to test him? Are you trying to like play a game? And I was like, no, I think as a 23-year-old woman, it was like, I was still trying to figure out like who I was and like what I wanted in a relationship. And so that attraction was there, but then you continuing to treat me with kindness and respect, even though I did like, and you're very like, you're emotional when it comes to God stuff. Like you cry, you know, the Lord tells you something, you're like crying, telling me, and it's beautiful. And I love it. I love that about you, but you're not emotional when it comes to like normal stuff. You're just kind of like, okay, like, cool. That's okay. You know? And so that is the main thing that got me, was you being so consistent. But I did write, like, you know, as all women did, and when you're a millennial,
the list of things that you were looking for. The list
that you, like, I was looking for. And the like stupid ones that were not really stupid, but they were like important to me, was like man hands. Like I literally wrote man hands, which my mom was like, what is that?
Calluses. Come on. Look at that. Calluses.
Didn't have them then, but we got them now. And then,
wow.
And then
those 3 months.
Those 3 months really built
your strength.
And then it was like beard, has to have a beard, plays a guitar. And there was one more thing. I can't remember what it is, but it was just funny because you were literally everything I didn't realize that I needed. But I do feel like that little like pause in our friendship, in our friendship, not even our friendship, because we still led the whole time. Was very special for both of us.
But I felt like that 3 months was really good for me. And that's why I say God writes your story, because for some people that's longer, shorter, whatever, or you come into a relationship already fully like healed from like your past and knowing who you are. But one of the things that I really I knew my worth, and like I really got to the point where, okay, if I feel led to ask her out again and she says no, she's truly missing out. Like I really felt like that. And because I was different though than anybody. She had a bad relationship in the past and all of that in ministry school and everything. And one of the things that I just always felt different, because we went to a school where I just loved to learn, and I still do. I love to continue education. One of the things I'm doing right now is like I'm on a deep dive of just American history. And so I've gotten a Theodore Roosevelt biography, which # favorite president ever. And then also just started the Salem witch trials, which is just absolutely crazy. Like absolutely crazy. But I've always been like that. And I loved school. But I felt like I was in the very, very big minority at our school, because our school, I felt like a lot of people were there because it was at a really large church and it was really cool, and you got to be a part of some really cool things, and you saw God do amazing things. But there was times where it was more about the encounter and the experience for students, at least, than it was for anything else. And I felt like for me, I was like, I want to be in the sanctuary. I want to be praying. And I want to spend my Friday nights studying at Starbucks. Like, and that's pretty much how it was.
That's what you were known for.
No.
Yes. Everyone was like, where's Brandon Beaman? Oh, Starbucks. Yeah.
I know. That was my spot on Friday nights though. That was when they used to have like the nice furniture, like the cozy couches and stuff.
Don't you just miss that? I don't think when we moved here, they didn't have that here. They didn't have that here.
But let's talk about the things that you should look for. Like, so whether that 2 categories, like as you're searching for somebody, especially a man, if you're looking for a woman to ask out, and then like, let's talk about the second category of like, once you're in a relationship, how do you know if this is the one? You know,
Wow.
That's
Girl.
big. Yeah.
Wow.
I think ahead of time, number one, let's get this out of the gate. If they're not a Christian, they're not for you.
No.
They're just not. The Bible talks about don't be unequally yoked. You need to date a Christian, and not a Christian by name, a Christian by nature. If you can't watch their life, what?
It's like every time.
That's my life motto.
Someone was talking to me and they started to say, Christian by name, and I said, not by nature. And they're like, oh, that's not what I was going to say. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Just filling in the gaps for you. That's something PB says all the time.
But it's true.
Go ahead.
I think the number one thing before you date somebody, you need to know where they're at with the Lord. And so like, we're not opposed to online dating. I'm not. But like, there's some questions that you need to ask. And I always tell people to ask where they go to church, and then how often they go to church. Are they serving? What does their Bible and devotional life look like? You know, all those things. Because if they say things like, I go to church occasionally, you know, I don't serve, Bible reading's hard for me. That's not somebody, especially as a woman, you want to be led, right? The man is supposed to be the priest of the home. He's going to be the priest. I like to add prophet, protector, provider, all that. But that all of those roles start with him being a follower first.
Yeah.
And so if he's not following Jesus closely, how is he supposed to lead you to where God wants you to go?
But even looking at the way he interacts with, for me, when you were corrected by like a staff member or like our pastor or something like our school, you were always so humble about, you're just like, oh yeah, absolutely, I get it. I can make that change. You're like, oh yeah, I shouldn't have said that. Like you were so like authority. You were never that guy that was like being, you know, whatever the people that are like, I don't want to be like, I don't want people to be in charge of me, or I don't want to be, I don't want to be led. Like I'm leading myself. I'm like, yes. But for everyone, you're always going to have a boss. You're always going to have someone over you.
You should.
You should.
There's I think it's Proverbs that says that there's such wisdom in multitude of counselors, right? Like,
yes.
And I think I always say that people should have mentors for different areas of their life, right? You're never going to find a perfect person, just like you're never going to find a perfect church. That's why I hate church shopping culture. Is like you're not going to find a perfect church. You're going to find a problem somewhere.
But maybe you will at Hilltop.
At Hilltop. But you're not going to find a perfect mentor that's like everything that you want to be. Maybe you're like the exception to the rule, but maybe have a mentor that's really great in finances, and then have a mentor that's really great spiritually. And if you're like a business person and you're going after being an entrepreneur, have a mentor that's a great entrepreneur. Sometimes that's not all wrapped up in the same individual, but there is beauty in the multitude of counselors.
Yes. And I think that was something that really drew me to you, was like you were a follower of Jesus, but then you also followed your leadership so like directly. And like we all have moments where we're like, you know, we'll be like, hey, ask a question, or I'll be like, hey, but why are we making this decision? Whatever.
Yeah,
like,
it's not like toxic leadership. I don't like that, because I think in the church, spiritual authority has a bad connotation that like you can't like, you know, they can never be wrong. And I think that's, I mean, if we don't want to talk about the Sunday I'm about to preach, but this will come out afterwards. We're talking about how the Protestant Reformation came about and stuff, right? Like we are sola scriptura, right? Like we are like, the Bible is the authoritative word of God. The Bible is what we follow. It is the ultimate authority in our lives.
I love you so much.
Well, it is.
You get so excited.
And then you have
about this.
Catholics and Orthodox and all that, where it's tradition and church authority. But the problem is, those are human beings, right? Like, and like, we're not infallible. Like, we get things wrong sometimes. I get things wrong all the time, like all the time. One of the things I hope happens in this coming generation is that pastors can be people.
Yeah.
That pastors can be honest about, like, I was listening to a counselor, Les Parrott, I think it's Les Parrott, yeah. And interviewing Judah Smith, and like they wrote a book together. And Judah Smith said this thing that was really interesting. He's like, pastors, we tend to do this thing where we like to say something we got healed of 20 years ago. He's like, we do not want to talk about the struggle that we had 5 minutes ago, right? Like, because we're always going to be growing. He's like, my struggles might have seemed bigger. He's like, man, you can say I got healed of cocaine 20 years ago, but like, he's like, but you can't, but if you come in and say, hey, I fought with my spouse last Sunday night after church, and it was pretty bad, and I said some things I didn't mean, and I had to repent the next day. Can't do that, because that wouldn't be a good leader. But I mean, I think good leaders are vulnerable. I think good leaders are humble and can say, man, I still need correction from the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
I still need God to point out things in my life. Yeah. And I think that needs to happen when looking for somebody. I think what you were saying is like, you need to look for somebody that is correctable.
Yes, and quick to respond to. I tend, and I think a lot of girls do, like, I can hold a grudge, and I've talked about this before. The Lord has healed my heart so much, you know, honestly. Okay, I'm holding no grudges today, okay? Yeah. But like, I think as a man, there are times when you'll come in and I'll be like, oh, I'm upset about this, or this person this, or blah, blah, blah. And you're like, hey, Like, why are we doing that? Like, it's okay. You're fine. This is not a big deal.
You know what phrase the Lord gave me when we were dating and that you hated?
Yeah.
In light of eternity, is this a big deal?
Yeah.
I remember the Lord speaking that to me. It was something to do with my life, but it became a mantra for a season.
Not a yoga mantra.
Not a yoga mantra. But
yes,
and you were like, do not tell me that again.
Okay, I did not become the devil incarnate. Like, thank you. But there
do some deliverance.
Oh, okay. No. Okay.
Go ahead.
But there is something special about a person in your life, the person that you're the closest to that can come in and be like, hey, I feel as if this is not true, or like something's going on, or this is, you're making a bigger deal out of, and you always say it in the best ways. But that really meant a lot to me, is like watching you be so correctable, but also be someone who could correct me and be like, ugh.
That's what a healthy marriage is, right?
Yes.
Like a healthy marriage is you get a voice in my life. You have the largest, outside of the Holy Spirit, you have the largest voice in my life, and vice versa. And so when you're thinking about dating somebody, if they don't respect the authority in their life, like whether doesn't matter what that, if that's a parent, boss, pastor, mentor, doesn't matter, whatever you want to call it. If nobody can ever correct them, if they're always right, we live in this culture where we are a self-absorbed culture where we're always right. And that's not somebody
or we think we're always right.
We think we're always right. We don't want, that doesn't work in a marriage. It just doesn't work. And so you want to be with somebody that can be corrected, that you can have a voice in their life, that they're not going to bite back at you every time you point something out. Now, on the opposite side of that, you don't want to be with somebody that doesn't love who you are.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that's one of the things that's really important when you're looking for somebody is they don't have to love everything that you love, but they should love who you are. And then you should have some similarities, right? Like you should have some things in common.
A few.
I mean, and it can't just be Jesus, like, right? Like then any Christian's on the table for you, right? Like it's just like, we'll just pick the one you think is the most attractive.
But there is something that I loved about our dating experiences. Like we had no money, like $0. Like even the fact that I thought we were going to be dating for like 14 years.
But then I worked at Poncheros.
Okay. Everybody knows. My dad, because where we live near, there's a Poncheros. And so I don't even know if you heard him say this, but when they were coming over, he's like, we passed the Poncheros. And he's like, I always pass the one in Rockford and think of Brandon. Because that's how
I want to be known for, building those burritos. So.
It was a sweet thing because you paid for my ring.
Yes. But with that though, not the one you're obviously not wearing it right now.
Yeah. It's
with
at
that rubber
home.
Ring. It took a long time to get that $20.
I lift, and so do you want me coming to you in the Lifetime Cafe being like, I lost my ring?
No, I don't want you.
Okay.
But so let's talk about, just break this down. So you want somebody that's humble and correctable, teachable. Like you want somebody that has similarities to you. You can have differences, right? Like I joke around about it a lot. I'm not a Dateline person. I don't like Dateline.
I think you've brought up Dateline every pod. And like that makes me think in my own head that maybe there is something that does intrigue you about Dateline. Maybe just a little bit.
There's really nothing.
But maybe a little bit.
But we have differences. I love to read, but I love to read nonfiction. You love fiction. Like it's your jam. We have some differences. But there's so much, like I could do anything with you and be happy. Like I really could. Like, and even like somebody asked me the other day, they're like, you don't really like Disney. And I was like, oh, I love Disney World. Like I'm 100%.
We don't do Disneyland.
Not Disneyland.
No.
I'm 100% in the, it's such a stigma. So there's like levels of this. Like we are the normal Disney adult where I'm like, I just like Disney World. Like I'm not crying when I go there. Like I'm not like, we're not freaking out. I like going somewhere where everything's in one spot and I don't have to worry about anything for vacation. Like it's just all right there. Like it's like a little city.
We're not having to drive.
Oh my gosh, I do like a city.
It's like the city.
Man.
It's like
Lake Buena Vista.
Yeah.
Only city in the world I like. So find somebody that has similarities to you that you like. Because you have to vacation with that person the rest of your life, right? Like, so you have to live with that person the rest of your life. And there's always going to be compromises and things, but you have to have similar interests.
This has been so fun.
But I also would say this is controversial in the church. You should be attracted to that person. If you are not physically attracted, I had a pastor tell me once this, and this was really gross. He said, "Does Kate get your engine going?" And I was like, I don't know what you mean by that. And he's like, "Do you find her attractive?" And I was like, let's use a different analogy.
Okay.
Like a different analogy. But he said, he's like, you have to, he said, you have to look at her the rest of your life and you have to make love to her the rest of your life. Oh my
gosh.
I was like, this is the grossest conversation I've ever had. But that's true. Like, and I think sometimes in the Christian world, we're like, it's all about the heart. And I'm like, well,
it's not.
You also have eyes. So, but I believe that every person has somebody that's going to find them ridiculously attractive. Like, right? Like, I'm not going to be everybody's cup of tea. Thank God. Like, you're not going to be everybody's cup of tea, but I find you ridiculously attractive. Like, and that's why, one of the reasons why, like, I asked you on a date was like, yeah, I find her attractive. What?
I had never dated a tall guy.
Like it,
and that kind of, I think that threw me off a little bit too. I always dated guys my same height.
You're 5'3" and I'm 6'6".
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's quite a difference.
Quite a difference.
And I actually refused to wear heels on my wedding day.
You wanted people to see
I wanted people to see, like, we are so different in height, but we are in love.
Okay.
Thank you.
What else would you say is important? So have attractiveness, similarities, first and foremost, relationship with the Lord. What would you say as like a woman about like when you're looking, because we're going to get to marriage in a second, but when you're looking for somebody to marry as a woman and you're looking for like, hey, that person's going to be the leader of our family someday. What do you what's important to you in that regard?
I remember like with someone I had dated previously, I would always make a list of questions, like literally write them down because I didn't have an iPhone at the time. So I would write down a list of questions in my purse and bring it on the dates that we took. I only dated him for 4 months and praise the good Lord, it didn't last. But I struggled having conversation. I struggled, like I felt like I had to keep the conversation going, and that made me really nervous.
Felt like you were leading.
Yes. And so someone that like you like to talk to, like I just remember sitting like in Stewart's, the coffee shop at our church, at our Bible school, and just talking. And we would just talk and talk and talk. And I'd look at my watch and be like, oh, I gotta go. And we just kept talking, and you were so conversational. And I never felt like, when you're talking to someone and you feel like so alone in it, you're like, I think I've asked 45 questions and they've given me like, yeah, no, blah, blah, blah. Like you want to enjoy it. That's what stuck out to me about you.
But that's why I think having similarities and things that you enjoy, what are you going to talk about if you have nothing in common, right? Like, and so I think that's hugely important, is that I like that you can talk about anything and everything. Yeah. Or
like for me, there was this, I have always been very, very independent, which I think as a woman, like there's different levels of it. I think every girl is like, yeah, I'm independent, but more so when we were dating or before we started dating. And so you were always very like kind about like, hey, you want to do that? That's your thing. Go for it, girl. Like whatever you want to do. Like you never, unless I was going to hurt myself.
Yeah.
You were never like, why are you doing that? What's exciting about that? Why are you going to the library again?
Well, I think
I did go to the library quite a bit.
I think it goes on a deeper level for me though, in terms of even that one of my core beliefs is that I do think men are supposed to empower women. Like I think that's a huge thing that I think we mess up sometimes in the midst of like that we're equal in value but different in attributes, right? And I think we forget that yes, the man's job is to lead. He is the head of his marriage, all that stuff. But within that doesn't take away from your call, right? That's why we're a church. We believe women can be pastors. We don't need to get into the theology of that today or anything. But I felt when we were dating, it was really important that I wanted our callings to match. So one of the first things that we did, even before we said, hey, we're boyfriend and girlfriend, which is so funny now, even saying that feels weird coming out of my mouth.
Like,
right?
I don't, like, remember when we went on our first date and our waitress was one of my old students from youth.
And you said, this is my boyfriend.
And I was like, it just felt weird.
Yeah.
But not it's just like, boyfriend.
It's just like a high school thing, right? Like it's a weird thing. And it's not, but it feels that. But now I lost total track of what I was going to say.
I'm sorry.
But,
okay.
But
empowering.
one of the things that we did was we took a drive and we talked about what do you feel called to in life?
No, we went to 2 different football games and got stuck in traffic. In traffic. And then we're sitting there and you're like, so what do you want to do with your life?
And I was so prideful. I literally was like, have you heard of Billy Graham?
I'm going to be him.
I'm going to be him. And but
which should have been an indicator for me.
God had to prune some things.
Yeah, he did.
But with that, I wanted to make sure we were heading in the same direction, because you don't have to have like the same job, but you need to be headed in the same direction, like the same view of your life, especially in ministry. Like I knew I needed somebody that was in it to win it, because ministry is not an easy life. It's a very different lifestyle than I would say any other job that I can think of. And so I wanted to make sure we were heading in the same direction. And luckily we were, but I think that's a conversation that you need to have, because what can happen a lot of times, I find mostly with women, is that the man will never ask that question. He'll never say, what do you want to do? It's more like, how can I fit you into what I feel called to do? And for us, I don't believe that a woman's role is just to help me in my calling. God has a call in your life. You don't have a lesser call. You have a huge call in your life. And my job is to help you in yours. Your job is to help me in mine. Like that's how a marriage should work.
Yeah. There's also this level though of like friendship that comes into play, because we were friends before we started dating. But once we started dating, our level of friendship grew, and I just loved you so much. I might not have said it right away. Okay.
Yeah. 6 months later, I said I love you, and 6 months later you said it.
I was like, I do love you.
No, you said thank you. You said thank you. 100%. You said thank you.
And then I eventually said it. But there was this level of friendship that grew so steadily that it was like I could not imagine my life without you, because you had become such a huge part. And it wasn't like we were spending, like, I think people misinterpret, like, yes, we're very close. We we work together, we drive together, we work out together, we do all this stuff.
That's like in marriage now.
Yeah.
When we were dating, it was like 10-minute windows.
It was like
sometimes.
Pockets of time where I'd be like, hey, I'm going to go outside and take a walk around the church building.
I think we had a date night a week, but then we like found pockets throughout the week.
Yeah. And it was like those small moments you always made special, or like you cleaned out my car for me, because not that I'm not a bad car person, but I like a clean car. And so you would go vacuum, you would go my 1984.
And I would leave in there your favorite snacks.
You would leave in there for my favorite snacks.
Goldfish and purple Gatorade. That was like the way to your heart back then. Goldfish,
now,
purple Gatorade.
You give me goldfish and Gatorade? There's actually gluten in Gatorade.
I set myself up for failure when we were dating, because I wrote you a note every day of our dating. Like for 2.5 years, I wrote you a note every single day.
Some of them, yeah.
Some of them.
I didn't save them all. Some of them weren't that memorable. I threw out the ones that were
but then, like, we got
have a good day, Kate.
We got married, and like I don't know why, like a switch flipped, and I was like, oh, I don't have to write notes anymore.
And you still don't. 13 years later. 13 years.
Good text messages though.
Some days you do, some days you don't.
I did have to repent like a year and a half into our marriage, and I told you, like, I need to pursue you like I'm still wooing you. Like I realized that, because it's so easy to take your foot off the gas, and so we did an about face immediately and change some things.
It wasn't, babe. It was just like, I think it's that we were also like in a new place for me.
Yeah.
I was working a new job. You were working a new job. There was just a lot going on. But all that to say is, if you're with someone that you feel like you can find in that dating game, like those little pockets of like, encouragement or something special, or bringing someone a cupcake. And it's, I don't know, I feel like sometimes we make dating into like this really intricate thing that it's not. It's like, yes, you want to find someone.
The goal is to get to know them. Like
Yes.
that's the main purpose for dating is, can I marry this person? You don't date to date.
No.
You date because I'm like, I hate saying it like this, but it's kind of like an interview process. Like if we're honest, like it really is. Like you're like, can I see myself marrying this person? Do I love this person? Are they kind? You know, all that. I think another one is this. How do they treat and what's their relationship like with the opposite sex? I don't know why I'm struggling with words today. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't want to date a girl that was like really flirty with other guys, you know, one of the things I tell people all the time is like when you get married, but once you start dating, you should not have a best friend of the opposite sex. Should not exist. You have one best friend of the opposite sex, and it is your spouse. And that's it. And I always say it like this. If you have to change the relationship once you're in a relationship, so meaning like you have to change your friendships once you enter into a dating relationship or a marriage, then my question would be, was that relationship ever healthy to begin with, right? Because we are supposed to share the deep, intimate parts of our life with anybody of the opposite sex except for our spouse, right? Like, I'm not going out to coffees with women. I'm not going to movies with women. Like, I don't, like, honestly, like, it's a really important thing for me, not just because I'm a pastor and I'm so tired of all the pastor moral failures. It's disgusting and I'm frustrated. But that's a soapbox for another day. But it starts with, I don't share anything with a woman ever besides you. Like that's a deep emotional thing. Like I just don't. I have boys and I have people in my life and mentors that I'll share things with. But like when it comes to deep heart stuff, it's just not appropriate and only leads to bad places. It either leads to full-fledged affairs or emotional affairs. And so that was really important to me, is how you interacted with other men. Yeah. And you passed the test. You scared men. They were like terrified of you.
Oh my gosh. I had so many conversations with my boss and my pastor that were like, hey, so when you're talking to guys,
you got to be kind.
You know, I'm like, I don't want to give them the wrong idea. Well, it's not like about that as much as like, you can't be mean.
But that is hard. And I'll admit that is way harder for women than men.
Yes.
Like that if a girl says a kind word to a man, it's like, whoo, she's feeling me. You know what I'm saying?
I know. So I felt like sometimes I was overly maybe a little brash or like just aggressive in the way I communicated because I didn't want anyone to feel that I was interested. But on the flip side of that, I do think as a man, like when you sit down to go to someone with coffee, let's just say, you know, like I was asked out, like I remember my second year in Bible school or whatever. And they were like, he was like, I'm just like really interested, like got right to it. He's like, what do you think about marriage? And I was like, no. Like, I thought we were just coming to like get to know one another. Like it scared me a little bit, like made me nervous of like, hey, I thought this was just like, you're buying me Starbucks because I'm a Starbucks queen and I need it, you know? And so I think when you ask someone out for the first time, especially for those that are in their like 30s and 40s even that are wanting a relationship, it's like, tone it down.
Take the pressure off.
Like, yes, you're dating to marry.
Yeah.
But you're also like, when you're sitting across someone at Blaze Pizza.
I
don't know.
That's your go-to first date spot?
I feel like it's like it's not like too romancy.
I'm not a Blaze Pizza guy, so.
I love Blaze Pizza. It always makes me ill, but like, love it. Or wherever you are, it's like, you're getting to know someone. And if it goes really well and you're like, hey, would you want to do that again sometime? Awesome.
Yeah.
That's
don't
great.
be weird about it. Christians are so
to.
weird about it. You act like when you're asking somebody out that you're asking to marry them. You're not. Take the pressure off and like take a chance, you know? And I think that's a really big thing. I would say this, and like, this is why I say like God writes your story. You have to be open to God may have something a little bit different than what you expected.
Yeah.
And I think people get stuck in it has to be this type of guy, this type of girl, like, and they could miss out on God's best for them because of that. And so I think that's really important. But I would say a huge thing, and like this can lead into marriage. And now, how long have we gone already?
Absolutely.
Okay, we'll
We'll
get to
wrap
marriage
it
next
up,
week.
yeah.
We'll get to marriage next week. But with that, have the proper boundaries in dating with the opposite sex. 100% yes, and that should be an indicator to you. And then I would also say that you need to make sure you have the boundaries talk once you start. When you're like, hey, I'm officially dating, then like have that boundaries talk. Here's what I would say, and this may be super, super old school. There is no reason, 1,000% no reason to kiss or do anything on a first date. 1,000% no. Here's the thing. When you enter into the physical aspects of a relationship, you don't know if you're in lust or love. But it's so confusing because there's hormones involved.
Yes, it intensifies everything.
So I would say this, wait as long as possible. Wait as long as possible. And I know that's like a weird thing nowadays to do that, but you'll never regret it because you'll know, I actually like this person. I actually love this person. I'm in love. I'm not in lust. When you enter into that, and Christians do this thing, well, we didn't have sex. I'm like, I don't care if you had, like, well, I do care if you had sex. We're going to get that.
We shouldn't be doing that.
But the hormones are still clouding your judgment. And so I would say this, at least wait a few months. And I know that sounds crazy. I know that sounds crazy. And people don't believe that anymore. And that's fine. Like do what works for you. Again, allow God to write your love story. Have the convictions that he's put on your life, but pray into it. Maybe ask the Lord, hey, what's my boundary when it comes to this? When is it okay? When is it not? That's a conviction of mine. And it's, I think, wisdom and wise advice from life experience and also being a pastor for well over a decade now. And so I would definitely say, wait as long as possible. So, am I in lust or am I in love? And it's very confusing to tell the difference once you enter into that physical side of things. But then have the talk of like where you're allowed to touch, where you're not. I literally told you, hey, you cannot smack my butt. You like good gaming. Like not just anybody, but me. But like I had to tell you.
It was one time.
I had to tell you, that turns me on. I do not want you doing that. Right. And like but we had the talk of like where we could touch each other, where we couldn't, when we were going to kiss, like, and all of those things was really important because it set the expectation and then it took the pressure off.
But for me, I'd been in a relationship where that wasn't the case, where it was like, you have to, like, he wanted more things from me than I was willing to give. And when I finally said yes to you, one of the things that I talked to you about was like, we're going to go slow, so slow, because I have to know, I'd promised the Lord, and like the next guy I kiss, I want him to be my husband. And I know that's like cheesy, whatever. I guess I was 23. So,
yeah.
But it really meant a lot to me that you respected that boundary. And like
11 long months.
It was 11 long months. And when we finally did kiss, it was like, I knew where we were headed.
Yep.
And I knew like there was I did not want to have anybody else. I only wanted you.
I would say this, don't cheapen what Jesus paid full price for. And so I think it's a really
it's still Easter week here.
It's not Easter
I'm just kidding.
But
just bringing them into it. I love it.
I think we need to get to this place where you don't want to have the list of like people that you kissed. Like I have a past before you and I regret every single one of those. Like It's a testimony that God has overcome and I get to use it for his glory and all that. But I still wish I never had it. And so I really think it's really important, number one, in this day and age, to break up the confusion. There's convictions, like what we're talking about with when to kiss, when not to kiss, right? I think the litmus test for you should be, am I 100% sure I can marry this person? And if you're not 100% sure you can marry this person, why are you locking lips with them? Why? Like, seriously, like there's no reason. And so I don't even think that's a conviction. I just think that's something that should be a priority in your life. I think the second thing is not a conviction. It's just something we confuse today. You should not be living with somebody you're not married to. You shouldn't.
Dun, dun,
like
dun.
You shouldn't. You should not be having sex with somebody you're not married to. Like you shouldn't. Like the Bible talks a lot about sexual immorality, right? And lust. And those are two things that are really important. Do not live with that person. There's not a test drive this before you buy. Do not have sex with them. If you are, there's grace. God covers, repent, and then figure out, okay, how are we going to move forward? That doesn't always mean breaking up. We've married couples that we've counseled through and said, hey, well, why don't you figure out, are you ready to get married? We actually had a couple that was living together and said, you know what? yeah, we've been dating for a couple of years. Let's get married. And I married them on a Sunday morning because they didn't want to live in sin anymore.
It was so beautiful.
And so we need to call a spade a spade. Sin is sin. Premarital sex is sin. Like, right? Like we can't elevate other things, homosexuality over that. It's a sin. Sleeping around is a sin.
But it binds you to a person. Like, just think about like how intimate sex is.
Yeah.
It binds you to that person. And then what if you start comparing like previous sex experiences with the person that you do end up married to? That is a lot of baggage.
But it's also
and God can come
creates that tie, right?
Yes,
like, and we don't. I'm not going to get into the whole youth groupie like thing right now, where you put the papers together. But there are chemicals in your brain, right? Yes. Like the more you have sex, the more you don't have that bonding chemical with, and so the more you have sex with other partners, then all of a sudden you try to like say, hey, I want to be in this to win this with a marriage someday. It's really difficult because that bonding chemical that God put in place in your biology is not doing what it used to do. And so I think it's really important that you save that for marriage. Song of Songs says, don't awaken love before it's time. And we need to take that seriously, but we need to be people that come back to what does the Bible say? And there's nuances when it comes to like how to date, how to be, like how to operate within a marriage. But then there's things that are like base level. This is foundational. Foundational is like you get one wife if you're a man and you get one husband if you're a woman. And that is it. Like you're not sleeping around, you're not open marriage, you're not trying before you buy. And it's important to have that. But I would just say in general, for most Christians, wait as long as possible. No, do I love this person or am I in lust with this person? And it's going to save you so much drama in the long haul. We dated for 2.5 years. And yeah, we made out a lot after that 11 months. Once you open that door, let me tell you, don't awaken love before it's time is so true, because once that door was open, I had to kick you off me a lot.
Oh my gosh, stop. But I think it's important, like what you've been saying is, it is like having boundaries in a relationship. It goes back to the Lord. It's like God, everything always comes back to a relationship with God.
Yeah, it does.
So it's like, God, how do you want me to operate in this relationship right now?
That's
and
so good.
Marriage is different. Like marriage is like, you're just in this, you know, and you can do whatever you want, whenever you want with that person. There's no boundaries.
None
of that.
Bathroom, everything.
Okay.
What?
No.
That's a good marriage right there. When you can go to the bathroom and you're sitting there on the toilet and then you leave the door open, that's a healthy marriage, right?
I'm really glad that I can't. Okay. What I'm trying to communicate right now is that having a relationship with God, having the people in your life that I'm so grateful for, my cousin and my best friend that were like, they were the people that were like, hey, I would go to if I'm like, I'm struggling in this area of like, I don't know, like, should I be with him? Should I not be with him? Because I was just a basket case. Yeah. I was a very anxious, fearful person. So for me, they were there to be like, hey, like, what is God speaking to you? They were always there to like encourage, listen, ask the right questions. And I think that's another part of being in a dating relationship, is having the people that you trust that they didn't always tell me like, you know, exactly what I needed to hear, but it was, I knew they were there to help. And like one was older, one was my age and near my age. And I think that really helped our relationship even grow farther, faster, because I had support.
I think a big thing would be, because what you're saying is brilliant, is asking the Lord, did that conversation, like after the fact, once you get home from a date or whatever, did those conversations, did how I behaved on the date honor you?
Yeah.
Is this relationship heading in a direction that you want it to go? Are the boundaries that we have in this relationship the ones that you want in place? I think asking constantly the question to the Lord, am I honoring you with how I'm walking in this dating relationship? And that should be the big thing. The whole youth pastor thing was like, if Jesus was on the couch with you,
my word.
But it's really true. And it's corny, but it's true. Like, right? Like if you had to watch this with Jesus on replay someday, like, right? Like,
oh my gosh,
would you be proud of that experience? I think we have far too many people getting into relationships like that are not healthy. I mean, the divorce rate being what it is, because we intermingle that physical side before it's time. I think people stay in relationships that they would have never stayed in if they had saved that for marriage. And like, even I'm gonna lump in there like making out and kissing and stuff before, like, you really know this is a person that I could see myself with long haul. And I know that is an opinion and it's my conviction, but I do think it's a good one. This is the last thing I'll say before we sign off today is I would also, and this is personal conviction, but I'm telling you from ministry experience, from our personal experience, you need to keep your spiritual lives separate. And what I mean by that is this: go to church together, talk about the Lord together, all those things. That's important. You need to talk about your faith journey, talk about what God's teaching you, all those things. But I would not, until you're ready to make that covenant, get engaged, whatever level that you feel like the Lord leads you into with this, I don't think I'd be praying together about deep heart stuff. Like, I don't think I'd intertwine my spiritual life like that, because that's creating a soul tie. And again, it's kind of like that physical element. It creates that tie that you're like, is this love on the physical side or is this lust? And then on the spiritual side, it's like, man, we're connected. I mean, we prayed together. We've lived that spiritual life together.
Yes.
You're only supposed to become one with one individual, and that is your spouse. And so reserve some things for your spouse. Reserve your body for your spouse. Reserve the fullness of your spiritual life to your spouse.
And there's nothing wrong, like doing Bible reading plans together. Yeah. Like, and when you're like, I have a friend, her and her husband are also doing the Bible recap together, and they do it every morning together, and we do too. And I love that. But I think it's just knowing I never want what God is speaking to me be confused with what God is speaking to you. Yes. You know what I'm saying?
That's when we're making big decisions, we'll pray separately and come together and say, this is what I feel. And there's nothing better than confirmation in that way. But that's in a marriage. We're talking about dating right now.
Yes. But in dating, it's like, yeah, if you want to do the Bible recap, do it. But like, I used to, my previous boyfriend would call me because we didn't live in the same area after 2 months. And so he would call and like read the Bible to me. And I know, I don't think I've ever told you that. Maybe I did. Anyway, all that to say,
my mouth a little bit. I'm just kidding.
Stop. I didn't like that because I was like, it's my relationship with the Lord. And like, I want to read what I want to read. I don't feel like I should have to like do what you want me to do. And so it's different when like you're following a plan together or something. But when someone's like, no, we need to do this together. It's like, I guess, but
like, I'll give you a scenario because this has happened in our ministry, and a guy will come to me dating, and I'll ask, who's your accountability for lust? You know, because they'll confess that they have some lust stuff going on, and like, oh, my girlfriend.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, wow, that's incredibly toxic. Incredibly. I mean,
don't do that.
I want you to like talk through like, hey, yeah, these are struggles. This is why I have that boundary in place, those things. But that should not be in a dating relationship. Somebody you're praying through those things with, somebody you're processing through those things with. You need a mentor in your life. You need men to surround you, or women, you know, like lust is not like just for men. I think we make it that way, but like,
oh, there are ladies.
It's not. And so you need guys, you need people of the same sex around you that are praying for you, that are your accountability partners. You need a mentor in your life, those things. When you intermingle that in a dating relationship, it gets real weird, real fast.
Just messy, yeah.
So I would just caution against that. I think keep certain aspects. You should be talking about spiritual things. You should be talking about your prayer life. You should be talking about what the Lord's teaching you. Nothing wrong with a Bible reading plan, anything like that. But there's certain parts of your inner devotional life, that prayer life. There's a reason Jesus compares us to a marriage in a relationship with him. It's an intimate thing. So there's some things that I would just keep back until you know this person is in it to win it for the rest of my life with me. And then especially the physical stuff. Like wait as long as possible on kissing. And then absolutely 100% no, it's not a Christian thing to live together or have sex before marriage. And if I need to define it out for you, that means hand stuff and that means mouth stuff. All right. Like I just want to be real with that, because some people are like, oh, it's not the same thing. It's the same thing. And because there's a covenant relationship that's reserved for, and it's between a husband and a wife.
Thank you for that.
All right. And we'll get to marriage next week.
Wow. But all that to say, again, you have to take your relationship or your relationship to be someday.
Like God, write your love story.
To the Lord. I just appreciated like my pastors, like what we're trying to do today was like giving advice or information and like you do with it what you want to do with it. We're not telling you what to do. We're just telling you what works for us and what we've
Like I
seen
said,
work.
conviction
Yes.
and then sin, right?
Yes. There you
Getting
go.
in the bed before the covenant, sin.
Okay.
When you choose to lock lips, conviction. Anything else?
It's been a great morning. I'm really glad that we woke up.
All right,
and
episode 8.
We're
is
wearing the
finished.
same color.
We're wearing the same color.
I told you not to wear that.
I just knew we were talking about relationships today, and I wanted to show United Front.
It's been fun.
All right. Thanks for watching the After the Message podcast. We'll see you next week.